So let's do an example so that everyone can hear how you decode a name.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and do Clayton again for us.
Okay. So Clayton, I'm going to start with the C, which says I like to be in charge. Okay. And I like to be in control because that's how I learn. Mm-hmm. Then I'm going to say the L comes next, which is self-confidence. Now the L is at the beginning of the name, which means he starts with self-confidence. Mm-hmm. Then you've got to look for the rest of the name to say, does he get to keep it? Mm-hmm. Or is he going to lose it and regain it? Okay, so now I'm looking at the CL together, and the CL together says, I like people to follow rules, but I don't want to have to follow rules. Okay, but I like it when other people follow rules.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to have a different set of rules for me. I want to make up my own rules. Then I'm going to go to the A, and that A says I'm going to have a tendency, because the first vowel is an A, to be a workaholic. And I'm going to work and work and work until I drop. My work is my play is my work. Okay. It also means I'm very sensitive to criticism, and I'm going to shut down and quit when I'm criticized. But I take suggestions really well. So don't criticize, just give suggestions.
Right.
Okay?
And that's totally true. I mean, we give choices, and, well, you know, I wonder what would happen if you did it this way, and then he can really hear that and respond to that.
Exactly. And everybody with the first vowel of an A has that same response. Okay? Then also, he would be very observant. Again, it sits there in that first vowel of an A. Then I'm going to the Y. The Y is the universal vowel. Now, our vowels give us our emotions, and our consonants give us our attitudes. Okay? So the Y is universal, and it says, I can understand everybody, and I can lead and have empathy with everyone. Okay? It also says, I like revenge. I want to get even. So if you know that, you teach about forgiveness.
Right.
You teach about how not to get revenge and you give it back to God.
Right.
You teach those things, so you want to counterbalance that Y, but Y is the most powerful of all the vowels. So it's a good thing to have, but you want to know how to counter it.
Right.
Then I'm going to do the AY together. Now when we hear that, you know, all parents say, you can do anything, right? Well, in the name, the AY combination says you literally can do anything. You put your mind to it, you're capable, you'll figure it out, you can do anything. So now Clayton's got that AY. So the world is open.
Wow.
All to him. T's say, I've got good hand-eye coordination, I will be good at video games, I will be good in sports, I will be good wherever I'm going to put that energy. Okay? So that's the T. It also says, whatever's next to it, I'm going to take to an extreme. Okay? So the Y is next to it. So the only one you got to watch for, everything's positive in the Y except for that wanting the revenge, and he wants to take that to the extreme. So that's really important to let him know.
Right.
We don't take care of that.
Right.
Okay? Then it's next to the O. The O in that position is nurturing. I'm good at nurturing others. I'm good at loving others. But don't tell me who to love and how to love.
Right.
Let me just love the way I love. But then he wants to take it to the extreme. So then you want to say to him, because you've got the T-O together, you want to say, okay, since you're going to take this love to the extreme, okay, can that make somebody uncomfortable? How can you tell if they're uncomfortable enough because they're feeling overly loved? Okay, so how do we bring that in balance? Then we come to the N at the end. The N in the last position says that I have a really good memory, and I can really pay attention to details. Now we also have the O-N at the end, which says I'm going to be good with logical thinking, I'm going to be practical, and I'm going to excel in either math, mechanics, or music.
Wow.
But that's where I get everything. It's not like I just make it up.
Right.
And a lot of people ask me, are you psychic? Are you whatever? I say, if I can do it, everybody can do it. It's you learn how the letters play.
Wow. And you actually teach this, too, right? You have workshops where people can learn this?
Absolutely. And amazingly, it took me 15 years to figure out all the nuances, and I can teach it in 15 hours.
Wow. That is amazing. And I'm sure people are going to be curious, how do I create the perfect name? So tell me what you think about naming in general when you choose a name for your child.
I really believe, because of the research I've done, and the 7 ancient religions all say, and this is really important, I think, for parents to hear, is that the child impresses upon the one naming them what they want to be called. And I think it's important to honor that.
Wonderful.
Okay, and then as a parent, you get to say, how can I tweak the spelling? How can I help? If I know what the letters mean, how can I help? How can I balance? And you want your child to have challenges, because if not, we're not going to grow.
Right.
And you want them to have gifts. So a perfect name to me is one where the gifts give you the skills to deal with the challenges.
Wow.
So there's a lot of perfect names out there.
Well, every name is perfect for the person who's coming in, right?
Exactly.
So your name, no matter what it is inherently perfect.
It's
And then
exactly perfect.
It just gives you sort of a soul map in some ways.
Absolutely. And it also tells you what vocations you'd be good at.
Great.
For an example, when I looked at my son's name, I said, he's going to be really good in computers. So at age 2, we already had him on a computer, and by 2nd grade, we already had him in a programming class, because we were supporting his natural gifts.
Right. Wow. Well, if you would like to learn more about Sharón, she is fascinating. This is her book, Know the Name, website knowthename.com, and you can get consultations with her, you can take her workshops, or you can just read this great book. So, thanks for listening.